Just 1 week after a deadly shooting at a house party in Adams County, another one happened overnight.
Enrollment is going down in Jeffco schools, which is why 16 may be closed or consolidated. The public gets to weigh in this week.
If there's any reason I'm going to die young, this is probably one of the better ones.
Many 21-year-olds are living it up, enjoying their life in college, but this one is spending his time volunteering in Ukraine.
The Broncos have a different QB under center today. The results, though, largely the same. Yeah,
Russell Wilson, of course, out, so Brett Rippon got the start today. There was a moment or two where the offense really moved, but again, points are a problem, and the Broncos are now running out of time. They're in the fourth quarter. They're trailing the Jets 16-9. Their only touchdown came of a short run by Latavius Murray in the first quarter. The defense has mostly dominated the Jets, keeping Denver in the game. Of course, that's been the case all season. The offense still needs to try and find one way to score. Brett Rippon threw a key interception late in the third quarter. Again, the Broncos are trailing 16-9 in the fourth quarter.
Let's take a live look outside. We can tell by the fans at the game. Things are changing a little bit. We've heard about the cooler temperatures in the mountains. Those temperatures, they're welcome.
Now, we got about 8 months or so of skiing and riding ahead of us because A-Basin made it official. They opened this morning. The cars started rolling in around 5 a.m. for an 8:30 start to the ski season. Even though this month has generally been warm and dry, the snowmakers were able to get the high noon run open from mid-mountain to the base. Hundreds of skiers and riders helped to get the ski season going, just as some snow did start to fall in the mountains.
That was honestly a big part of the decision. We saw the cold weather coming and we felt pretty good about the snow, so decided that it was time.
Well, this week, A-Basin hoping to get a little more of the terrain open. There has been some snow up there.
Yeah, they never complain about when there's just a little snow coming, Danielle. Just a little bit, just a change in the temperatures.
And let's open.
Yeah.
Let's open up.
Skiing, right?
Loveland and Keystone, right, are looking forward to perhaps opening next weekend.
Oh my gosh. It is so crazy, you guys. I feel like we just literally flipped the switch. Mother Nature at least did, ushering in this huge winter storm up into the high country, bringing a completely different weather story up there. Here in the metro area, it's been all about the gusty winds that we've experienced, as well as a couple of isolated showers. There we are, overlooking the Loveland ski area. Hopefully Mother Nature brings them a bit more snow this week. Across downtown Denver, kind of a mix of the sun as well as some clouds, certainly darker skies off across the distance, but that snowfall, it's still coming through parts of the western slope, the San Juans, up into the high country here around the Front Range, and then some scattered showers for parts of the metro area. It looks like some rain cruising in around Loveland, heading up toward Fort Collins through Greeley, maybe even a rumble of thunder, a couple of lightning strikes, with more scattered rain showers stretching off to the far northeastern plains. We zoom in and you can see just a couple of isolated little small showers popping up around Berkeley, Federal Heights, North Glen. Otherwise, the bigger story has been right there around I-70 through the Vail Valley, through Eagle, Glenwood Springs, looking at some pretty heavy snowfall. The snowfall continues as we go throughout the evening, and we could potentially be looking at kind of a rain-snow mix here around the Denver metro area. Accumulations will not be much. You'll notice this is around 11 o'clock or so tonight through Douglas County, Castle Rock, the Palmer Divide. Might see a little bit of light snow, but by tomorrow morning, it is long gone. I mentioned those strong winds. Look at the far eastern plains, 30, 40, 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts just charging through. A very strong cold front has positioned itself across eastern Colorado, kicking up some pretty high fire danger without the rain, without the snow over there. We're looking at red flag warnings for wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour, and the high wind warning set to continue throughout this evening for far southeastern Colorado. The temperatures have been all over the place depending on where you are here in the state. 30s up in the mountains. We're in the upper 40s into the 50s here in Denver as that cold front sliding through, but still mid-70s in Lamar and Springfield. Tonight, the Denver area is under that freeze warning. It will continue until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. So still some snowfall out there. We'll be tracking that and how it continues overnight, plus just how cold it gets tonight here in the city. And looking ahead this week, I don't have a lot of mid-70s and sunny on deck in that 7-day forecast. It finally will feel more like fall around here. You'll have to dig in the back of the closet and search for some of those sweaters. I'll show you my 7-day in just a few.
All right, thank you, Danielle. A developing story. Louisville police say 3 officers shot and killed a domestic violence suspect. This happened about 6:30 this morning on a home on East Street near Courtesy Road. Officers say they responded to a report of domestic violence. Police say a 57-year-old man who lived there moved towards officers, threatening them with a large butcher knife. Police say the man had blood and possible knife wounds on him. Police say 3 officers fired at him and killed him. Everyone else in the home got out safely. Boulder County investigators and the DA's office will investigate.
A teenager is dead. 2 more are hurt. This after a shooting in Adams County, and deputies say it happened at what they call a house party early this morning. The home is near East 70th Avenue and Broadway. The sheriff's office says an 18-year-old died at the hospital. They say another 18-year-old and a 17-year-old were hurt. One was taken to the hospital, the other treated at the scene for a graze wound. Deputies say they don't have a suspect or any information yet about one, but they say there were around 50 people at the party, and they ask if you know anything to call the Adams County Sheriff's Office. Now, just last weekend, there was a shooting at a house party in Adams County that killed another teenager, hurting 7 more. That was on Dakin Street, about 4 minutes away from the house where this morning's shooting happened. No arrests have been made in that shooting either, but deputies say it's not likely that the 2 shootings are related.
And a shooting at a house party in Denver killed 1 man and hurt 2 others. It happened about 11:30 last night on South Beach Court near West Mexico and Zunai. Denver police say the man died at the hospital and 2 women were shot. They are expected to survive. Officers say other people got hurt as well, but not from the gunshots. Investigators haven't made any arrests. They're trying to really figure out what led up to the shooting. If you know anything, call Crime Stoppers.
And 2 people have been arrested in the shooting that killed a young man near DU's campus. It happened early yesterday morning on Bucktail Boulevard near University. Police say Emilio Gomez, who's 20, and Josiah Cruz, who turned 18 last month, have both been arrested on accessory to first-degree murder charges. Officers have not released a booking photo because they continue to investigate the shooting. They also haven't specified the actual age of the victim, saying only that he's under 18 years old.
Aurora police say a woman has been arrested in the hit-and-run death of a person on a motorcycle. Police say Valerie Zamora was arrested on suspicion of leaving the scene of an accident involving death. She's 50 years old. The crash happened about 4:45 yesterday afternoon around South Peoria Street and East Warren Place near Iliff. Police say a man and a woman were on a motorcycle on South Peoria Street when they hit the back of a Subaru that was going across all lanes of traffic. The Subaru driver drove off. Police say the woman died. The man is in critical condition. Officers found the Subaru empty not far from the scene. Then they found and arrested the driver.
Tomorrow, public hearings continue for the 16 elementary schools that the Jeffco School District is recommending for closing or consolidation due to declining enrollment. The district can accommodate 96,000 students, but right now there are only 69,000 students enrolled. Tomorrow's hearings will focus on Wilmore Davis, Color Stand, and Vivian Elementary Schools. They're all in Wheat Ridge. People will get the chance to share their thoughts with the Board of Education. Hearings on other schools will continue all week and on Wednesday and Thursday of next week.
Denver Public Schools also says it plans to close or consolidate some elementary and middle schools, but they have not announced which ones. It's for the same reason, a decline in enrollment. The district says it's down 6,000 students in the past 5 years.
It's something that we are taking very seriously and something that really needs to happen in order for us to provide the quality education, the wraparound support, and also having a staff that stays consistent.
The district is focused on schools with fewer than 275 students. In the next couple of weeks, they'll release a list of proposed closures. There will be community meetings for parents. Then the school board will vote on the closures at its November meeting. Assuming they'll go forward, the schools will close before classes start next fall. This morning, more than 5,000 people came together for the Susan G. Komen More Than Pink Walk to raise money to fight breast cancer. The walk was in Civic Center Park, back in person for the first time since the pandemic. And the money raised will go to research, screening and diagnostics and financial assistance for breast cancer patients and survivors.
Tomorrow will mark 9 months since Russia began its invasion of Ukraine. And in the early days of the war, the Ukrainian government was asking for people from around the world to come and help, and many did answer the call. Well, tonight reporter Cole Sullivan introduces us to a man from Boulder, barely old enough to drink legally here at home, now helping on the front lines.
Most 21-year-olds don't have photos like these, in helmets and flak jackets on roads in Russia's crosshairs.
This was a probably the most important thing I could be doing with my life currently.
Carson Lance left home in Boulder this March. Photos like these have defined his life since. He works to deliver medical supplies and food and evacuate civilians from hard-hit border towns.
It's a disaster and a humanitarian catastrophe over there.
He's traveled far from the so-called safety of the capital, Kyiv. His missions with a Canadian aid group have taken him to cities in earshot of Russian artillery. We spoke from his home in Kharkiv, about 25 miles from the Russian border.
There's air raids pretty much every day. But I would actually say, other than that, life, especially now that the Russians have been pushed all the way back to Luhansk, life is going on as normally as people can make it.
He doesn't speak Ukrainian nor Russian and originally came looking to fight.
It's not a study abroad trip, this is a war. What do you say to folks who are like, dude, what are you doing over there?
I'm helping people less fortunate than me.
He views the war as good versus evil.
No matter how big of a bully Russia is, people can stand up against that and they can fight back.
And he wants to help the side of freedom. Cole Sullivan, 9 News.
Carson also says he plans to stay in Ukraine for the foreseeable future. He says the country is facing a critical moment in the war and needs all the help it can get.